Is my mic on? I can't. Okay, thank you. All right, everybody, we're going to start in about a minute. Nine o'clock and we'll start. Good morning and welcome to the February 15th, 2024 meeting of the Code Enforcement Board. Meeting will now come to order. May we have a roll call, Madam Secretary?
Ms. Marsh?
Here.
Ms. Roby?
Here.
Ms. Himes?
Here.
Mr. Harrington?
Here.
Mr. Mahegan?
Here.
And Ms. Kindig?
Here. Okay. Everybody had a chance to read the minutes? Any additions or corrections? Somebody like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion that we accept the minutes as read with necessary corrections.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Ms. Himes and a second, Ms. Roby?
No.
Mr. Harrington.
Oh, Mr. Harrington.
I know my voice is rough, but
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carried. Anybody need to disclose any ex parte communications? Okay. Do we have any announcements, Madam Secretary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Page 2. The lien review 1 will be via Zoom. Page 3. Case number 2 will be via Zoom. And also page 3. Case number 5 is CEB 01-2417, 285 Williams Avenue is in compliance as of February 8th, 2024.
Sorry, which one?
Case
Case
number
5.
5.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, page
Uh,
5.
Okay.
No, page 3, case 5.
Page 5.
All right.
Got it.
Okay, page number 5. Case number 10 will be via Zoom. Oh, I'm sorry. 339 South Martin Luther King Boulevard will be via Zoom.
Wait a minute. Case number 10 on page 5 is Zoom?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now which one are you? What?
Okay, now still on page 5. Case number 12, 600 South Caroline Street via Zoom.
Oh, God.
Page number 6, case number 16, 1432 Illinois Street, compliance, February 14th, 2024.
Repeat that again, case.
Case 16.
Case number 16,
Page
CEB 11
6.
23 137.
Compliance.
Okay, you want it?
Okay. Compliance was 2/14/2004.
What
24.
case was that, please?
16.
Okay, 16, 1432 Illinois Avenue.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And page 10. Case 32, CEB 01-2431, 344 Ellsworth Street is in compliance, February 12th, 2024.
Good.
And those are my announcements.
Okay. All right, would our code officers please stand up and be sworn in?
Do you solemnly swear or, sorry. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay, here's our procedure, everyone. We will be calling cases by number, and for the most part, in order as they are listed on the agenda. If there are attorneys that must be in court, we'll hear those cases first, and if there are police officers that are going to testify that need to get back to work, we will hear those cases first, too. When your case is called, please come forward and be sworn in. State your name and address for the record. If you are not the owner of the property, please state your relationship to the owner of the property. Our proceedings are recorded, so please speak into the microphones. The board hears from code officers first, and then you'll be given the opportunity to respond. Sometimes we have witnesses that testify and they need to be sworn in and follow the same procedures. If we go past 11 o'clock or to 11 o'clock, we'll take a break, 5 or 10 minute break, and come back and finish up. So we are going to start with our lien review, which is a Zoom. Is that ready? Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, you need to be sworn in. State your name and address for the record.
Will you raise your right hand, sir?
Edward Bridges, is it my turn?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
What is your name, sir?
Edward Bridges.
Okay, got it. Okay. All right. Lien review number 1. Mr. Bostwick, good morning.
Morning, Board. Inspector Bostwick, credentials on file.
Now, this is his request for review.
Yes, sir.
Is that something we want him to articulate his request before we
Yeah.
respond?
Yeah.
That we have something,
Would
Yeah,
you-
that's what we
yeah, let's hear about your request for a lien review. Sir.
Yes. The short situation is that this problem all first came to light in like November of 2021. I don't live on the property. I live in Dallas, Georgia. I jointly owned the property at that time with my mother-in-law, Shirley Holman, who lived there. I wasn't aware of it for 2 years after the fact. The notices all went to the property address. Shirley Holman was at that time roughly 90 years old, in very poor health and suffering from dementia. She didn't do anything with them, including notify me or her sons who live in Daytona Beach. So nothing was done when she first got the notice, even when the fines were imposed and the lien was imposed, that I wasn't aware of any of that until October of last year, when I was contacted by another inspector about a second complaint. So when I was notified of that, that was Inspector Wiggins. Inspector Wiggins told me about the fact that there was a lien and prior complaints, which I got all the information at that time, and as quickly as I could, resolved them, cleaned up the property, did the things that need to be done. I took a trip to Daytona Beach in November, in December of last year, for a week at a time, and hired a company to repair the fence, which I couldn't do myself, and have 2 brother-in-laws who live in Daytona Beach. Between the 3 of us, we got the property cleaned up and got the issues resolved. Mrs. Holman died in a year and a half ago, September of 2022. So now I'm the sole owner of the property.
Okay. All right. Mr. Bostwick.
Yeah, good morning again. Pretty much everything Mr. Bridges said is true. He was unaware of any of the notices until he got in touch with Officer Wiggins, And when we finally spoke, I told him what needed to be done, and he jumped on it and took care of everything. And now he's requesting a lien review.
Okay, what is your recommendation?
Well, based on the circumstances about Mrs. Holman and the sons who were living in the area were supposed to be, looking out for her, and apparently they were not, the city would recommend that we go ahead and just waive the entire lien on the property.
Comment or questions from the board for either the city or Mr. Bridges? Or in general?
I just think that, at least pay for the administrative
I
costs.
agree.
I just had a little problem with the, awarded, started in 2021, she died in 2022, and it took till the end of 2023 for it to,
I think,
Well, are you making a motion?
I just make a motion. Are these all the administrative fees that are associated?
Yeah.
well, make a dollar amount.
I'd make $100
Oh,
for administration, I don't know.
what?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
She said $100. We have a motion to reduce the fine, to $100. Do we have a second for that? That was from Ms. Roby. Do we have a second to that? We have a second from Ms. Himes. I think that's too little. I think it should be something like $1,500. A lot of time was spent on it, and $100 covers nothing, basically.
I can amend my motion to 1,500.
What? All right.
Yeah, the motion, she.
All right, so Ms. Roby wants to amend her motion to make it reduce the lien to $1,500.
And just for clarification, that's typically, when we
Right.
talk administrative, we usually talk about 10% of the
Right.
lien amount, so.
Right.
And, this one's a $10,000 lien, but, that's completely up to y'all as
Yeah,
you heard the
okay.
inspector's report.
Do we have a second to the amended motion?
I'll second it.
All right, second, Mr. Mahegan. Well, I guess there was a motion. I guess it should be Ms. Himes that is willing to amend her second.
Okay, second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to reduce the fine to $1,500. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Reduced it to $1,500 payable within 30 days, or reverts to what the original amount was.
Okay, plus the administrative fees.
And the amount of,
Okay.
yes, and the amount of time that was spent on the case.
My question is just, is it $1,500 plus these fees or total of $1,500?
A total.
Total of 50.
Total of 1,500 includes everything.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much. I appreciate your consideration.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to start with our continued cases. This is case number 1, CEB 01-24-24, Christina Ramdular. Respondent present? Okay.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Mr. Wiggins.
Good morning. Inspector Curtis Wiggins, Code Compliance, credentials on file. The respondent was first notified of violation August 3rd, 2023. Since the last hearing, there was no progress made. I have had no contact with the owner, and so the staff recommends a fine of $100 a day to a cap of $15,000.
Do we have an address for Ms. Ramdular? Is there, where does that person live?
She lives in Ocala, Ocala,
In
Florida.
Ocala, thank you. It's not
We
that
have
far
a
away.
photo of the property.
Yeah, I'd like to see some pictures.
He said he could not find them.
It should be in there. It was
Okay.
in there the last time too, the same pictures.
Well, it seems like there's an awful lot here, even if we don't have the photos. We saw the photos when it was a new case.
Right.
Overgrown landscaping, exterior siding, dilapidated roof, dilapidated front porch. Does anyone live there?
It's vacant.
Okay,
And nothing have changed. I was over there
Right.
on yesterday. Yes, same
okay.
exact.
So we don't have a picture.
We don't have pictures. Okay, they're coming.
I know it was in there.
All right, let's see these pictures.
Are the cars still there? Curtis?
That car belonged to the other,
Yeah, that's not
apartment.
on
Yes,
this.
yeah,
That's not.
yeah.
Madam Chair, I motion that we accept the city's recommendation of $100 per day.
Could we do some close-ups of those? Looking at the
Oh,
roof,
okay.
the porch. I see the side, okay. Okay. I see the yard. All right.
Second,
All right, we have a motion from Ms. Himes and a second from Mr. Harrington to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $15,000. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Okay, motion carries. Case number 2 is by Zoom, CEB 01-24-03. All right, Mr. Jones, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's see, are you Mr. Garcia?
I'm here.
Okay. State your name and address for the record, please, and be sworn in.
Brandon Garcia, 1815 North Oleander.
Okay.
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Jones, what would you like to tell us about this case?
Yeah, the respondent was first notified, Mark Jones, my credentials are on file, field supervisor with code compliance. The respondent was first notified of violation on September 26, 2023, and a stop work order was posted on the property on 12/20/2023. As you can see, that's when the stop work order was posted. If you keep, and the owner continued to work without any permits. And you can see the finished product. This is the area where it was stopped. And he completely redone the front of the house, and replaced windows, doors, steps, all of that without having a permit.
excuse me, is that listed on this?
Well, to correct the violations that were originally listed, he went ahead and did all this work that corrected those violations. So in essence, he corrected the violations, but he corrected them without permits.
Right.
So the violation still exists until he gets permits, and the permits are finalized.
So that will, if we make a ruling, we have to put in must get permits because it's not listed here.
Correct. Well, what was listed was, if you go through the original violations, the unmaintained landscape, rotting wood, peeling paint, windows enclosed without permits, broken window glass, non-operable windows, missing window screens, a damaged front door, which they ended up relocating, and damaged flashing and gutters. They were notified that they needed to get, they had enclosed windows without permits.
If I may, Anthony Jackson, attorney for the city of Daytona Beach. Mr. Harrington and members of the board, Madam Chair, with the circumstances that if they don't have permits and they do the work, then we don't know if they complied or not, because we don't know if the work is satisfactory without them obtaining the permits. So there's no one who's been able to review to determine whether the work is satisfactory. So it's the work that they had to do that's in non-compliance until we get permits saying that it is in compliance. So at this stage, the non-compliance is the items that the inspector cited them for. But part of what's going to be necessary for them to come into compliance is having permitted work.
Yeah, okay.
Should we include that in the
As part of your
Think it
order,
would be
if you elect, but it's not essential. Well, I mean, that's the problem. So if you want to include it in your order, you can. I don't know what Mr. Sino speaks of that.
So,
That's correct.
So, Mr. Garcia, have you applied for any permits?
Yes, we applied for the permits and they approved initially the first 2 things on there, but there was more stuff the contractors did not put on the permits, so they amended the permits. And then they kicked the permits back saying they needed a engineered drawings report of the new door opening and window and a third-party inspection, and that's all in the works right now. We've already had the engineer come out and do the drawings, and so we're just waiting on those drawings, and then once we have those drawings, then Universal will come and inspect the work that was done based on the drawings. And then once that's done, we'll resubmit the permit with the requested information.
okay.
I would just like to tighten it up and make sure.
I want
So
to
you-
tighten it up too. So there's no way,
Make
Mr.
a
Jones, you can tell us
recommendation
whether
that
there's
is included.
been any, I mean, you can see, I guess, do we have a picture, a before picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, could we see that?
You could make a point of me, but I was just going to
Okay.
ask this question after she looks at that.
Okay, Mr. Garcia,
Oh, that's okay. Pretty bad.
where do you live?
I live in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. And are you,
This-
and you're
this
the
is,
registered agent for Paragon
correct.
Capital Properties? Okay.
Correct.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
some of the concerns of the city is relocating the door where they ended up enclosing the front door, cut in a new door opening in the concrete block and installed a door. The areas where you see they put windows in, we have no idea if they were done correctly.
Right.
Stuccoing where you're not allowed to stucco without a permit. He speaks of the original permit that he had. He submitted just to replace the front door and replace a window, when you can see that he didn't just replace the window, he relocated the window and cut in a new door opening. And without having permits and having this inspected, we don't know if it was done correctly.
Okay, can you testify to the fact whether he has applied for permits for all this work at this point?
Yes, he has finally applied. As I said, he originally applied for a permit just to replace the door and windows.
Right, that was-
Once the building
okay.
inspector went out and
And-
saw that the extent of the work was
Right.
far beyond, and that was what he submitted for a permit after the stop work order.
Right,
He has now resubmitted, but because of the work that he did, he has to have engineered drawings to get them approved, and then he's going to have an independent inspector come out to inspect the after-the-fact work.
okay.
And Madam Chair, if I may, and members of the board, the city sees this as a very egregious violation. We believe the gravity of the violation is substantial. When someone has received a stop work order,
Yeah.
proceeds anyway, do all of the work, knowing that they don't have the permits, and now here we are today. We want it done. We want them to get it done, but we believe that it's proper at this point for us to be asking for you to go ahead and impose a
Well,
fine.
I just, I kind of agree with Mr. Harrington. I do agree with Mr. Harrington that it needs to be part of the order that needs to have permits and have it finalized. And it's not in the it's not in the, violation notice.
So I've got a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So he's moved the door and a window to a different location, is that what has happened on this
Right.
property?
The inspectors said that. There's other things that's wrong with it, but if I can answer first, Ms. Kundig, on the concern about those things not being there. The necessity to obtain permits is part of
Correct.
whatever repair or that's, it would be on every one of our cases where permits are necessary. We don't put that you have to obtain your permits. That's what contractors are supposed to know and supposed to do. That's what's requirements by local laws and state laws. So the requirement to get a permit to continue to work or to even do the work is something that's just understood. But once you got a stop work order, it's even more
Right.
necessary for them to recognize you can't do anything until you go and get your permits. That would not require us to modify our initial violation or anything else. Just our violation is, these are the things that's wrong, you must get them repaired.
Okay.
The instruction on how to
What was
repair them
Ms. Marsh's
is
question?
their growth. Now, I'll let Mr. Jones speak to your question, Ms. Marsh.
So my real question is, did his adjustments to that property probably affected the integrity of the building,
Yeah.
from what I'm hearing?
I cannot address that. That is why they have to go ahead now and get engineered drawings and submit them to the building department.
All right,
Because
Ms.
that's
Well, I
not known
see
at
it
this
as
time.
it was fraud, because if they requested to replace the door, but instead they totally moved the door.
All right, Mr. Garcia, can you explain to me why you don't have permits for all this work that was done and why you continued to work after the fact of a stop work
So
order?
we hired a contractor. We paid him a bunch of money. He was supposed to be pulling the permits and doing the work. He did not do that. So then we fired him.
Okay,
They stop work order. Once we received that stop work order, none of the work that was listed in the stop work order was continued. All they were doing in those pictures that you can see was they were replacing the gutters, which the city said there was no permit necessary for that. Any part that they said we had to stop everything on that list, no one touched any of that after the fact. We applied, so I hired a new contractor, brought him on board. He applied for the permits. He did not include everything in the permits. So they kicked it back. He amended that permit, reapplied it with everything included in that permit. And then the city kicked it back saying that they need us to do an engineer drawing, which we have done. And the final step is that we have to have Universal come out and do the final inspection. And then we'll submit all that back to the city and we should be good to go and done with all this behind us.
yeah,
Could,
If I may,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair.
yeah.
If we go back photos, you can show when the stop work order was done.
Right.
And then going from there forward, this is work that they continue to do. This is December 29th. And you can see, I think one more, you can see on the right-hand side, they've now then enclosed that opening after the stop work order and stuccoed it. So work did continue. That was part of the original violation, which was you can't enclose these windows without a permit or these window openings.
There was no windows in that opening. If you look at the before pictures, before we even took ownership of the house, where that big wood cutout was not a wood opening. That was just a wall. That wood was rotting, so we just replaced the wood rot.
On that side was a window.
On that
Does she
side,
have a
there's-
seal there? What
there's
is the
no-
recommendation of the city?
Well, part of the violation, the original violation, was that they had enclosed window openings.
Mr. Jones, she asked what was the recommendation of the city.
The recommendation of the city is a $100 a day
I
fine.
think it should be more than that, Mr. Jones,
Yes,
based on how
sure.
egregious this is.
Yeah. We would ask for a $250 fine with a cap of 15 until the property comes into compliance.
But we are actively working to get the property into compliance. We've already had the engineer drawings done, and I've done all this in less than 40 days. Just to get the engineer out there took 2 weeks. Now the universal inspections is going to take another 3 weeks before they are scheduled to come out for the inspection. I mean, we've actively been working on this, trying to make it right, trying to bring the property into compliance. Mind you, I bought the property with all these violations unknowingly. We had a lot of bad luck with contractors. But we're trying to do the right thing, so I don't think a fine is appropriate. At least give us 60 days from the start of this violation until
Madam
now
Chair.
to bring it to compliance.
Okay,
Because we
Madam-
we are
Madam-
actively
What-
trying to
okay.
comply.
Madam Chair, if I could say.
Madam
Wait,
Chair.
let Ms. Himes, and then,
Okay.
I recommend the motion of the city to be in effect for 250 per
all
day.
right, we have a motion on the floor that we impose a fine of $250 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $15,000. Is there a second to that?
Second.
We
Is there-
have a second from Ms. Marsh. Now, we can have more discussion right now.
Okay.
And
Madam Chair, I don't
Mr.
need to say
Jackson.
anything further. I say in light of your motion, I don't need to say anything further
Okay.
at this time.
Okay.
I mean, we're doing everything we possibly can.
Now you are, but you
Yeah.
weren't. I mean, that's the big issue that we have to
Made the
deal with,
motion
is
to
that,
Disclose it.
What is some issues I can maybe clarify? Like, what's the? I mean, $250.
well, working after you were issued a stop work order.
From the moment I received the stop work order, no one worked on anything that was listed.
When did
And-
you fire the first contractors?
When I received the stop work order, because I thought that they had applied for the permits and were doing everything they were supposed to do, and when they're not, I fired them, hired someone else, and I've been talking to the city every single day almost, the building department, the permits division. Really, I've been working as quick as possible to get this done, and it hasn't even been, I think it's only been like 45 days since the original stop work order was even put on the home. I've been working extremely fast. I've heard a lot of cases on the last cases I've gone on for like 6, 7, 8 months without anything on it. And we're actively working as quickly as possible to bring this property into compliance. We're not arguing anything. We're literally trying to fix everything and bring it into compliance, do it right. We're trying to improve the neighborhood. We've already had the inspections done. They said everything was done to code. Now they did the drawings. Now we're just waiting on the third-party inspection. All this will be cleared up.
Who's the
With-
third-party inspector you're talking about?
The
Universal?
the city is requiring that we have a third-party inspection done to ensure all the work is done according to the drawings that the engineer drew. So we are working extremely fast, trying to get everything
Okay, all
possible
right,
done.
we hear you. All right,
I have a question for you.
go ahead.
Do we have a permit to do all this now? Is there a permit in place to do what work has been done?
No, sir.
Well,
That's what we were originally applying for. That's why
Okay.
we applied for all that in the
How are
city.
they able to
back
do
in
anything
May.
without a
We
permit?
needed the-
How are they able to do anything without a permit?
Well, none of the work should have been done.
Correct, but if they're
Without a
working
permit.
at it now, they're still working without a permit. So it's
Well,
a
what they
violation.
did after the stop work order was continued the whole project, as you saw in the last picture. But talking with the building inspectors, the building inspecting department, they're still reviewing they're still awaiting engineering drawing. This case did open on September 26th when they were first notified.
Okay,
of
so the
violation.
engineering drawing has not been submitted, is that correct? Is that what you're testifying to?
Correct. So the engineer drawings cannot
I
be
know-
submitted.
Okay,
We have the third-party inspection done. That's what the city said. And also, after the stop work order, the only thing that they have done is paint and the gutters after that. But they applied for the permit for everything that we've done is on the permit that we have submitted to the city. And now we're just waiting on the third-party inspection
okay,
to be.
all right, okay, now, we've heard your testimony.
If you guys can just give me like another 30 days or 60 days, everything will be.
We have a
completely-
motion on the floor that we have to vote on. We did not vote on it, we had a motion and a second.
Well, I'm just
Then we had
requesting it.
discussion. Nope, that's it. Testimony's finished. We have a motion and a second. The motion, I will state again to impose a fine of $250 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $15,000. We have a motion and a second. Time to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Is there any way I can appeal this? Because, I mean, we're doing everything we possibly can and working as quick as we possibly can. I don't understand why I'd be having a fine if we're doing everything.
I understand that you don't understand, but that is not our job to tell you what you have to do. You can,
I can at least
Go
speak
ahead.
to the
You can-
question of an
okay.
appeal, Madam Chair. There's two things you can do. One is, once everything is in compliance and complete, you can seek a lien review, which is the process you saw at the beginning of this, or you may have heard. The second thing you do is, if you elect, you can file an appeal. Chapter 162.09, no. Yeah, Chapter 162 of the Florida statute will tell you that you have 30 days to file an appeal with the circuit court. So that's your choice, sir.
all right, we're going to move on to the next case. Thank you.
So I just to confirm, I'm going to be hit with the $250 fine every single day?
Yes.
Until when?
Until the work is completed or it reaches a maximum of $15,000.
So, like, if the city takes a week to come out to do the inspection, I'm being charged $2,000 for that,
Well, they
essentially?
can't do any inspections until you get your work done, and this case has been, Mr. Jackson explained there are two things that you can do. You can use Chapter 162 and appeal to the circuit court within 30 days, or you can come before us after the work is done and everything's completed and ask for a lien review.
Okay.
Those are your options. Now we need to move on. Okay, thank you. Case number 3, CEB 01-24-11, Kelly Doherty. That is Marks. Mr. Jones. Is the respondent not here?
Yes, this respondent was first notified of the violation on October 17, 2023. Since last hearing, I've had no contact from the property owner. No progress has been made. Staff is recommending a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $10,000.
Well, I don't think that's enough money. That's the way it looks now?
Yes, sir. Yes. These pictures right here is from February 9th. I did not or don't have authorization to go into the interior. The building inspector was the one who provided that photo of the interior. It is definitely...
No contact, no interest in this building whatsoever. Where does Miss Doherty live, or Mr. Doherty? I don't know who Kelly either.
I do not know.
Do we have an address?
We show Daytona, the Winchester address in Daytona.
The same address?
That's what we're showing as the,
From the property appraiser, that's who's showing the ownership and where the address
Okay.
is.
So we
Yes,
have,
there's a condemned sign on it.
Yeah, the property has been condemned by the building department.
that's a separate and independent
Right.
proceeding.
All right, does anyone want to make a motion to impose a fine? And how much? I think it's, in my opinion, it's egregious, but,
We need something to get his attention.
Yeah.
What's the maximum? 250?
250.
I suspect there's nobody to get any attention to, but let's make it $250 a day.
Okay, you making that motion?
Yes.
Mr. Harrington making a motion to impose a fine of $250 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of, I guess it would be $10,000.
$10,000, yes.
A person has to live someplace, and that's not it, so, okay.
A second.
All right, and we have a second from Ms. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
And she has been notified.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, the property's been posted, so we've gone through the,
Somebody is paying the taxes?
I don't know if someone is paying the tax.
All right, let's move on to case four, CEB 01-24-06, the Bryn Mawr Land Trust.
Respondent was first notified on October 2nd, 2023. Since last hearing, I've had no contact from the property owner. I continue to get complaints from the neighborhood. No progress has been made. Staff is recommending a fine of $250 with a cap of $15,000.
Chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $250 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $15,000. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Himes. Is there a second? Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case 5 is in compliance. Case number 6, CEB 01-24-18, Michelle Ford. Mr. Stenson, good morning. Anybody, is the respondent present? Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Stenson.
Good morning, Inspector Stinson. Code compliance with qualification are on file. This respondent was first notified on the 21st of July of last year. They were cited for junk vehicle being a boat, outside storage, and damaged fencing. Since then, I have had contact with the owner. There has just now been progress within the last 2 weeks. The outside storage has been removed. The junk vehicle, being the boat, has been removed. The damaged fencing still remains. I'd like to amend this case to the next cutoff.
So this person is actually working on the property now,
Yes, yes.
and it's an owner-occupied property.
Negative. This is a rental property.
It's a rental
They
property.
need a
Yeah.
permit for that fencing?
Depending on what or how she wants to address it, they have 3 options. She can repair it, replace it, or remove it. If she wants to repair it, if it's less than 50% of the entire fence, there would be no need for a permit. If it's 50% or more, they would need a permit. If they remove it, they do not need a permit.
So does this property have a rental license and has it been inspected?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
All right, was that motion Ms. Marsh and second Ms. Himes? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number 7, CEB 01-24-20, James and Patricia Quayle. Respondents present. Come on up. Good morning. State your name and address for the record. Here. Okay, that's all right. State your name and address for the record, please, and be sworn in.
My name is Patricia Quayle, live at 315 Zelda Boulevard, Daytona Beach.
Will you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
And Ms. Coyle, you can pull that mic down, that moves.
Oh, okay.
There you go. All right, Mr. Stenson.
Yes, this case, the respondent was first notified in this case on August 23 of 2023. They were cited for unmaintained landscaping, address numbers, and a damaged roof. There have been multiple inspections on the property. I have received a phone call from this property owner on the 13th of this month. She will explain to you her extenuating circumstances. However, the city is asking for the imposition of a fine, $200 per day, to be capped at $10,000.
Okay, Ms. Quayle, what would you like to tell us?
Well, the thing is that I didn't look at my mail when I got the thing because I was taking care of my late husband. He recently died, and all I was doing was taking care of him. And then then he had to go to the hospital and stuff, and he went to a nursing home, and I just kept on going there and didn't care about what was, going on outside. I know I need to get done. I actually got some stuff done, like in the front there of the house. A lot of it is done, in the front of the house. A lot of it is gone right now. The side of this house, the side of the house that has roses or whatever they were, that's all gone, because I got that done. I even got the, I got some of this done over here, in the front of the house. There, like those bushes right there. I got part of it, that is partly done. And it's down low, the bush over there. That, I don't even know if that's, yeah, that's done too. That part is done. And I been trying to get things done. I know I need a roof done. I have to get,
Permit.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
That's okay, relax.
So my son says he's gonna try and help me, but he works a full-time job. What he's gonna do is gonna call a contractor and see if he can help me out with all this other stuff.
Do you live there?
I do live there.
One of the things that can be done immediately is that the house number is
Yes.
not there.
I don't know how to get it. How do you get that? I mean, I don't even,
So buy the numbers
and put it on it?
Yeah, just so it's visible, just put the house numbers up. The reason you put house numbers up is so the fire department can find,
Oh,
emergency vehicles could find your house. That's why that's a requirement.
oh, see, I didn't know that.
Okay. City's asking what?
$200 per day to be capped at 10.
Can I see the roof damage? Is there a way to look at that?
It's the soffits on actually both sides of the property. But those are the issues, the soffits.
That was from the hurricane,
It's what?
from the hurricane that we had long
Yeah.
time ago. And I, like I said, I didn't do anything because I was,
So is it the soffits or is it the
It's
roof?
the soffits. It's the soffits.
Ms. Quayle, can I ask when did your husband pass?
he died January 21st of this year.
Anybody like to make a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair, I recommend that we give a 30 days to come into compliance. If not, come back before us.
All right, Ms. Himes has made a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there a second to that?
Good.
Do we have Mr. Harrington second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Just keep doing it. Get your sons to help, get any help you can get, so you don't get fined on top of all this.
You have
Okay.
30 days and stay in touch with me.
And always stay in touch with Mr. Stenson.
Okay.
Do you need a permit to get the roof done?
No, it's just a soffits and it won't
Okay,
require
So you
permit.
just need to get the work done,
Okay.
and he'll talk to you about that, okay? And stay in touch with him, because when the
Oh, I
work
will.
is finished, you'll need to have Mr. Stenson come out and put you into compliance, okay?
Okay.
All right. Case number 8, CEB 06-23-83. Inez Garrett.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
We
Oh,
want-
dismiss this case. All
Yes.
right. That's what we're doing?
Yes, ma'am.
We're dismissing this case, releasing Inez Garrett, and reciting the new owner. Could you, does anybody want to explain that?
It's just that there was a
Do it.
process, a sale was already in process when we came to court already.
Okay.
Do we need a motion or
Yeah, we need a motion to dismiss the case.
so moved?
All right, go ahead.
There was a process of sale already in the process when we came to court.
Okay.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Harrington's made a motion to dismiss the case and recite the new owner, and Ms. Himes is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 9. Thank you. CEB 04-23-61. Ms. Velazquez and Ms. Hendricks. Good morning again.
Good morning. Good morning again.
State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Mi nombre es Emerita Lisette Velázquez y dirección es 646 Marco Street, Daytona Beach, 32114.
My name is Emerita Lisette Velasquez, and my address is 646 Marcus Street, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32114.
Before we move forward, if I could swear you in first. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the interpretation that you will give in this hearing will be true and a true interpretation from English to Spanish and Spanish to English? Questions asked and answered given, you will make a true translation in English of any writing which is required by you to decipher or translate to the best of your ability.
I do. Minerva Samayoa, State Interpreter.
Gotcha. Ms. Velazquez, will you raise your right hand?
Por favor, levante la mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide
El testimonio que está a punto de proporcionar
is
será
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Kirk, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah Kirk, Inspector with the City. My credentials are on file. Since the last hearing, I have had contact with Ms. Velazquez. She has confirmation from Save-A-Lot Buildings LLC to move the shed. They are scheduled, but it's 2 weeks out. With that being said, I'd like to ask to amend to the next cutoff for compliance.
Okay, am
I must be mistaken. I thought we disposed of this last.
no,
We didn't?
no, we keep giving more time. This case started over a year ago. I'm willing to give this one extra month, but after, I mean, you know, I'm getting kind of tired of the every month coming here and, you know, we need more time, we need more
Well, I think
time.
we did say that we amended to the March cutoff, so she technically,
Oh, we did?
she technically had, I think we just needed to update.
Oh.
It was case 10 and.
Okay, so, all right, so, everything except the shed.
That's correct. Everything except the shed, and I do have confirmation from the Save-A-Lot Buildings LLC that they are going to move the shed, but they're pretty backed up, but it's scheduled and it's 2 weeks.
Okay.
Oh, that was Ms. Kirk that asked for the mark, I'm sorry. That asked for the
Okay, all right, yeah, because I, okay. So, The chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, second, Ms. Himes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay.
I believe the translator is right now explaining.
She has till 3/14, I mean, before that she comes back here. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Case number 10, CB 05-23-67, a Zoom call. From New York, Mr. Burton.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. State your name and address. Good morning, and state your name and address for the record and be sworn in, please.
Yes, good morning. My name is David Burton. My address is 74 Lincoln Avenue, White Plains, New York, zip code 10606.
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Kirk, what can you tell us?
Okay, first notice to the new owner was August of 2023. Owner has maintained contact with me. There were some setbacks since the last hearing. Tools were stolen.
What was stolen?
Tools.
Oh, whose tools?
I believe it was a plumber. Mr. Burton will be able to explain more. He also told me that there is a police report that was made. So the project had a little bit of a setback. However, there still has been some progress. Flooring has been laid down, as well as about halfway through repairing the bathrooms. So with that being said, I'd like to ask to amend to the next cutoff for compliance. I did supply some before and after pictures for your convenience.
Yeah, I'd like to see some.
Okay. Okay, these are current. That's before.
Wow. Okay. Where are the after pictures?
That's after. That one and the one previous was is current. That's a current.
That's it?
That's all we have.
Is that all the progress that's been made, Mr. Burton?
Since the last hearing.
Yes,
We
that is
had a-
correct.
Huh? What?
I was going to say that there were an extenuating circumstance pertaining to the contractor that was working on the property, as was previously mentioned. The tools were stolen, and in addition to that, the contractor's wife took ill. Now, it's important to note that the contractor does not have, as of this hearing, a valid driver's license. He was, in fact, relying upon his wife to be able to transport to the property. But since she was under the weather, he had to take time to attend to her. And in fact, she was hospitalized, and subsequently that also delayed the progress that would have ordinarily would have been made.
Well, was he just his plumbing tools were stolen, but there are other things that need to be fixed. What's the status with those that didn't involve plumbing tools?
Well, he was also working on the other matters besides the plumbing, the flooring, also the electrical work that was being done. So it wasn't just the plumbing that he was working on; there were other matters as well.
Okay.
Is he a licensed contractor
Yes.
with,
Go ahead, Mr.
in Daytona Beach, he's a licensed contractor?
Yes, sir.
You realize that your contractor is not responsible for any fines that occur. You are.
Understood.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Himes. This case is, well, When did you acquire the property, Mr. Burton?
This was, last year.
Last year.
He was added to the
Correct.
case in August of 2023.
Thank you. Added to the case in August, okay. Do we have questions? Do we have any discussion?
To amend to the next cutoff for compliance, I feel it's very close. There were some setbacks since the last hearing. Even with the setbacks, there was progress. Permits have been finalized, so I just think it's just
okay.
going to take
What
another
has
month.
been done?
Well, the roof, the ceiling on the interior, as you can see, all the
Right,
holes.
okay, I
Those
saw-
have all been
okay.
repaired. The
Okay.
flooring has been installed. There was, let me look at there was, this was a squatter. I don't know if you can remember, but there was, because it's been a while, it was a squatter situation. It
Right.
was a search warrant served.
Right.
So there was also an egress issue on the interior that's been removed. Where's the? Cleanup, there was a lot of outside storage, trash and debris on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
That has been cleaned up. Different fixtures have been repaired. The windows have been repaired. The doors have been repaired or replaced.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, it was in very bad shape.
Mr. Burton, do you know when your contractor is going to be able to get back? Do you have?
Yes, ma'am. The contractor will be able to get back to the property, in less than a week.
Okay.
And if it's possible, I'd like to be granted, an additional 30 days to bring the property into code compliance.
All right. The chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Hines, second.
Second.
Ms. Marsh, all in favor say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, thank you for making progress. Good luck. All right, case number 11, CEB 01-24-09, BAT Development. Good morning.
Good morning.
State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Timothy D. Hudson Sr., 712 Park Drive, Daytona.
Did you say Timothy?
Yes, ma'am. Timothy
Hudson?
D. Hudson Sr. Or Timothy.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, what is your relation to BAT Development?
I own it. BAT, that's the initials of my children, Bobby, Angelique, Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have permission to speak for the LLC?
Yes, ma'am. I own it.
And the LLC is you and your children, basically?
Basically me.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, we'll hear from Ms. Kirk.
Okay. First notification on this case was 5/4 of '23. Mr. Hudson has been in contact with me. The permit is in process. It's in the process of being reviewed by zoning at the moment for the fencing.
Yes.
Staff is requesting 60 days to amend for 60 days for compliance.
And that would be April 3rd? April 3rd?
April,
cutoff?
April, yes, April 3rd.
Any questions? Yeah,
I guess I missed, this is being reviewed by,
Zoning. So the
For the
fence
permit for the fence.
okay.
And then after that is complete, then we have to do the rentals. So that was the reason why I'm asking
Okay.
for 60.
I don't recall having zoning review fence. What's the difference on this one?
That would be a question for the permit department, but that is a process that I've seen regularly. That it goes through different departments for to be reviewed.
So likely they'd have to, I mean, does the fence, what's the matter with the fence?
No permit. Yeah.
Well, are we getting a new fence or repairing the whole thing? What are we doing? I mean,
Put the new fence up without the permit.
Yeah, during the storm, my properties were they're damaged, and I was worried about city coming back citing me because all the fencing, during a storm, chain link, the wind will go through it. But with these boards, I mean, the boards were everywhere. So I took it upon myself to remove all that stuff and to replace what was there, but without a permit. But I have applied for the permit.
do you need, if it's going through zoning, are you going to need a survey?
Yes, all that has been submitted.
Okay.
The boundaries where the
Okay.
fence will be placed, they just want to make certain that I'm not encroaching on someone else's
Yes.
property.
Right.
But I just put that fence was up there for 16
Okay.
years. It was time for a new fence.
Okay.
The storm sort of did a favor, but it was time
Fine.
for a new.
All right. Chair will entertain compliance and allow respondent until 4/3, April 3rd, 2024, to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Motion, Ms. Himes. Second?
Second.
Second, is that Ms. Marsh? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you. Case number 12, this is a Zoom call. Last time Mr. Bush was here?
Madam Chair, the Zoom participant has not logged into the meeting.
Not logged in.
Do you want to come back? Good or-
No, no. Ms. Kirk, what can you tell us? Have you had contact with this person?
I have. I've had regular contact with the husband and both of the sisters that the property is under Miss Smalls, yes. I've had contact with both and the husband, Mr. Bush. That was who was supposed to attend via Zoom today. He might be having an issue. So the windows were repaired, and then one was broken again since the last hearing. So he told me yesterday that he was buying new glass to put it back in. They put the fence back up, but as you can see on the corner there, it's missing the post. So he said he would have that done within a week. Put that corner to where it looks nice again with the post. So I'd like to ask to amend to the next cutoff for compliance.
Was there a trespass notice put up?
We are working on getting that on the
No.
trespass.
Okay.
So, yeah, no trespass
Right.
program.
Any questions from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until March 6th to come into compliance and return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Marsh, second. Ms. Himes, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, case number 13. CEB 01-24-12, Janice Faye Williams and Lila Mae Williams, Elizabeth Williams Estate at 819 and 821 Magnolia. Respondents present? Okay, Ms. Kirk?
Okay. I have had contact with the owner. She has also been to the city and has authorized the city to demolish the rear structure. The job has been awarded to a contractor, city contractor, and the scheduling is in progress. We don't know an exact time of when it's going to be demolished, but it is in the works. The inoperable vehicle that was tarped in the front has also been removed.
Okay.
So I'm asking to amend to the next cut compliance.
Any questions from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, second, Ms. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Okay. Motion carries. Case number 14. CEB 01-24-01. David Shaw. Mr. Shaw here? Yes. Good. Always happy when someone shows up.
That's the first time I've got notice that you're having a hearing,
Okay.
and this is the first hearing that I attend. I've been here before.
Well, we'll get there. State your name and address for the record and be sworn in, please.
Okay, my correct name is S. Period David Shaw.
Okay. We can correct that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll correct that. All right, we're going to hear from Ms. Kirk, and then we'll let you speak.
Will you raise your right hand,
Oh,
sir?
I'm sorry.
Please, thank you.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
For the record, I have never met Ms. Kirk.
That is correct.
What?
That's correct.
What is?
That he's never met me.
I never seen her.
Okay. Well, we're going to let her explain first what's going on, and then we'll...
That's because she has a cloak.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Kirk.
Okay, this first notification was back in May 26 of 23.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've had no contact with Mr. Shaw, and there's been no progress. The staff is requesting a $100 a day fine to a max of $15,000.
Do you live there, Mr. Shaw?
I've been here 75 years. Born and raised here.
So this is not a rental property,
Yes, it is.
and you also live there?
No, I don't live there.
Oh, you don't?
That's a rental property.
This was a citizen complaint?
This case was generated from an operation that code enforcement did on Keats Street, that
Okay.
section of the city. A lot of blight.
Do you have your rental license?
Yes, I do. It's with the city.
With what?
It's with the city of Daytona Beach.
Yeah. What would you like to tell us? I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
I don't either,
Why?
because I've never been notified until now.
Well, how did you get notified this time?
Letter in the mail.
Madam Chair, if I may answer that.
Go ahead.
He's listed here with the address to be mailed was the address of the property, but the inspector supplied me with an address of his actual address, and then I've notified him that way.
So he was not notified?
If I can speak to that, Madam
Go ahead,
Chair.
please
Yeah,
do.
we just needed to do an alternative notification based on just circumstances that would appear in your file that would be something that's otherwise confidential. It would appear in your code file, but we utilized other circumstances in making the notification.
So we're accepting the fact that he wasn't notified?
We're notified in the manner which the secretary has indicated.
Inspector Kirk, was the property posted?
No, it was signed for. The certified mail was signed for.
Okay, so delivery was made.
Okay. Did I sign for it?
Okay. And also, the rental license is not,
Did you answer that question? Did he sign for it?
Madam
Or
Chair,
did
it was
the
signed
tenant
for.
sign for it?
no.
That's what I mean.
It was delivered to the 242, then the wrong person signed for it, and they habla español.
What are you doing about all these violations?
First, once I got this letter in the mail, I immediately contacted a contractor, and they filed a permit. I did credit check on the 4th of February with the contractor, and they applied for a permit. Permit was issued they applied on Friday, and permit was issued, and it should be on file now that they put permit issued for roofing, to do the roofing and stuff. And do
Permit
replacement.
issued for the roof, can we verify that?
I can.
I used to lay downstairs, couldn't get a copy of it. She said, y'all can pull up in the computer.
Just getting verification.
Okay, so the permit was issued on 2/12/24. There is no rental license. It is pending. So I believe when I had the case, there was because this case has been open for a while, it was active, so now it's not active, so it's pending. And
It's not scheduled?
let me see.
Or is that what pending means in this case?
I really can't tell. It just says pending, so it's not issued. But notification was made and confirmation through the Volusia County Property Appraiser. Notification was made to Mr. Shaw.
How long have you been renting this property?
Shoot. Maybe about 14 years, 12 to 14 years.
You were born and raised here?
Born and raised here.
There was a rental?
Yeah, I've always paid the rental fee.
Said rental license, he meant,
Didn't she just say there was no?
there hasn't been an inspection.
Madam Chair,
But that's not even on there.
right. Yeah, that's.
What we're looking for is, a permit has been issued for the roof.
Here's the,
Damaged windows, outside stairs. Has anything been corrected on this property?
I was there yesterday and I didn't see any progress.
Why
so-
is that? Sir?
well, she took a previous picture before, you took these pictures yesterday.
Yes, sir.
If you took a picture a couple of days ago, I removed some of the junk that was on the side of the building that was when you initially got it. If you go back and you look at those pictures, you see I removed some of the stuff, the pictures. But I'm working on it.
You are?
Yes, I will. I will get it done.
Okay. Ms. Kirk, what is your recommendation?
Staff has recommended a $100 a day fine to a max of $15,000.
Any discussion from the board?
Yeah, if he just notifies him,
First notification was May 26th of 2023.
And
but I mean, he said that's the first letter he got.
Well, that's the first notification that he received was May 26th. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're
Let's
asking.
get clarification, Madam, Ms. Symes, Madam Chair. I guess the question is, the first confirmed notification was the May notification, and that was
Right.
confirmed through the property appraisers that the service was met.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Was it posted, or did somebody just sign for it that was not Mr. Shaw?
It was sent to the Volusia County Property Appraiser because it's a confidential.
So we don't get confirmation of those things through the property appraiser. So all we can do is have the property appraiser confirm the delivery.
So the
and the
property
service.
appraiser confirmed it.
So we don't, that's all we know.
confirm delivery to the address.
That's correct.
Well, I think there's enough confusion.
I think so,
In my
too.
mind, that I'm willing to give them another 30 days.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't see any harm in that. Yeah, that's a motion.
All right. Mr. Harrington's made a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until the next cutoff date, March 6th, to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved. There a second to that? So a second from Ms. Himes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
This will be done, taken
Good.
care of.
Okay.
Definitely will be taken care
It's
of.
good that you got your permit issued for the roof and did all that stuff.
Has not, they dragging their foot a little bit.
That's okay.
But I got it,
We'll-
I'm putting my
we'll take
foot
all
where it's
that
supposed to
into
be to get it done.
consideration. Okay.
Thank you.
Case number 15, CEB 10-23-131, Carnell Edwards Estate. Respondent present, it would be, was it Mr. Van? Okay, come on up. All right, good morning, sir. State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Van Edwards, 1851 LPJ Boulevard.
So it's Van Edwards, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You're Mr. Edwards. All right.
Do you-
Supposed to know that. You're not
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. That's there. Good morning, Mr. Butler.
Good morning, Board. How are you?
Good. What would you like to tell us, Mr. Butler?
Okay, Inspector Roosevelt Butler, credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. As it pertains to 340 North Caroline Street, respondent was first notified of the violation on August the 17th, 2023. Since last month's court proceedings, I've had contact with the property owner, and there has been some progress. However, this case has been open almost a year, so staff requests $100 a day to a maximum of $15,000.
This is since August, not, right? Am I looking at the right case? Okay.
About 10 months.
Okay.
$10,000, I'm sorry.
So what's your recommendation?
$100 a day to a maximum of $10,000.
All right, let me look at these pictures here. And board have questions?
Yeah, Mr. Butler, what have been achieved?
Well, I just heard from Mr. Van last week. So they painted it, they started painting, but there's a lot of rotten wood. There's a lot of more work that needs to be done, and the problem is it needs to be consistent to get it into compliance. This property has been like this for several years. It's in pretty bad shape.
Okay. I can see that. All right, Mr. Edwards, what would you like to say?
No, he's right. You know, I'm dependent on people to do things, and it was my fault. I need to take it upon myself now to get it done myself, as opposed to depending on someone else.
Now, does anyone, it's not occupied, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So besides the, so the roof, the soffit and fascia is damaged? Is the roof damaged, the roof itself damaged as well? Is that being cited?
Yep, roof, that's in the violations.
Okay. What are you doing to, I appreciate the fact that you said you're taking responsibility now. Has this property been vacant since the
Yes.
Carnell died?
No. There was, I lived there for several years.
Okay, but,
There has been some, since it started, the soffit and fascia on the side and the back. Actually, what we need to replace is I have the materials for it. It's just that the gentleman, the roofer there, that I was my friend that I thought would be able to do it for me. So I have to move on and get someone else to get it done. It's that corner right there, and I have some 2x4s in the front. And then the face of the white part of the building needs to be painted in the front as well. And the soffit and fascia that has been replaced on the side in the rear back there, that has been replaced, it needs to be painted as well. But the house was painted. Matter of fact, I did that with a youngster in the last 48 hours.
Okay, are we needing permits for this work? Is he aware whether he needs permits or no permits?
Not for repairing the soffit
Okay.
area.
Well,
But-
does he need permits for anything?
It depends upon how bad the roof actually is, and that's something that he'll have to look into himself.
Yeah, we had a top on there which was removed. Basically, what I'm planning to do is, can't replace the roof right now, but I can seal the roof. There is a sealant that I went out to Home Depot that the roof can be rolled and sealed.
Yeah, I can't. It would have to be Mr. Butler that puts the roof into compliance, and if
Okay.
that's satisfactory to him,
Okay,
and he puts you in compliance, that's fine.
okay,
I can't tell you, without.
absolutely.
I just can't. We can't do that.
Okay.
Any discussion from the board? And your recommendation, Mr. Butler, was what?
$100 a day to a maximum of $10,000.
Is there discussion from the board?
The property isn't still in the name of an estate. Is that property still in
Yes.
probate?
Yes, ma'am. Well, it's not even in probate, it's still in my dad's name.
Okay.
I have 5 other siblings.
You have what?
5 other siblings,
Uh-huh.
and of course, none of them are here with me. So it's a little trying to get everybody together to resolve that issue.
So you haven't applied for probate yet?
No,
So you can't get permits until that's resolved, I believe.
well, if the permit is needed, yes, ma'am.
Well, we can't tell you whether that's true or not. It would be Mr. Butler that tells you that. In light of the fact that it's not even in probate.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a time when you saying that you can have this corrected in.
Well, since I've taken it upon myself now, probably about 30 days, because it's not a lot. It entails painting the white area and that left corner right there where the den is, the right side there. I have the materials for that. And then I have 2 2x4s that's on the, one's on the right gable, the larger gable. That 2x4 needs to be replaced. And basically after that's done, is just get that white portion painted.
Is there any leaking inside from the roof?
No, sir.
I think what Mr. Butler was saying to us there was that he's not seen any consistent
Yes, ma'am.
working on the property.
Yes, ma'am.
But you are going to do that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, award him 30 more days.
All right. All right. Ms. Roby's made a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. And the second was Ms. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. So go on about your business and get it done, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and stay in touch with him.
Yeah, it's, I hate to be repetitive, but when you depend on other people, sometimes it doesn't work. So,
That's true.
Um,
But you're ultimately.
I have to, yes, ma'am. I'm
The
responsible.
estate
I'm
is
the respons-
ultimately responsible. I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
know what's gonna happen with the probate or anything, but the estate is responsible.
I'm the one that's responsible, yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this, case 16 is in compliance, case 17. CEV -11-23-143 1142 Lewis Drive, Verlita, and Sabrina Briggs. Anyone here? Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Butler.
As it pertains to 1142 Lewis, respondent was first notified of the violations on October the 4th, 2023.
Okay.
Since last month's court proceedings, I've had no contact with the owner and no progress. Staff requests $100 a day to a maximum of $15,000.
I just want to look at the pictures a second. So, it's occupied?
Yes, ma'am.
Is
There's
it-
people in there.
And it's not owner occupied?
No, ma'am.
Is there a
So
rental
it-
license on file?
No, ma'am. It's not.
$100 a day, up to 15. Anything been done?
That place is a mess. That's the only thing I can
Okay.
tell you.
Okay.
That
All right,
come under-
uh,
That come under rental?
And there are people living in it? People living in it?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that come under rental or ownership?
I'm sorry?
Is that considered a rental then?
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they're doing it, yes. But just to put you in the loop, we have continuous law enforcement activity at that property.
Well,
It's an
that felt-
ongoing, yes,
yeah,
it's an ongoing
okay.
problem.
I saw that from last time.
Yes. On this particular case, because they did do some of the things on this particular case.
What did
There's
they
another
do?
one. Go back to some of the pictures. Right there. Okay, you see they painted the front of the house?
Yeah.
They painted that.
Okay.
So they took care of that. They took the fence down. The problem lies, they still have the parking, junk. See all the outdoor storage on the side. That was as of yesterday, so.
And police issues?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Would you like to testify, or
He's
just?
going to possibly the next case. The next case.
Okay.
There's another case on that particular property.
Oh. Go ahead. Is there any discussion before? I'd really like it to be more than $100 a day.
Yeah, and the next case is theirs too.
Okay, well, okay. Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I recommend that there be a $250 fine per day.
All right, the chair, Ms. Himes has made a motion to impose a fine of $250 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $15K. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, so we have another at the same address. Okay, 2 cases, good. Great. Go ahead, Mr. Butler.
As it pertains to 1142 Lewis, respondent was first notified of the violations on December the 4th, 2023. Since last month, court proceedings, I've had no contact with the property owner and no progress. Staff is requesting $250 a day to a maximum of $15,000.
Okay.
Now, this particular case, just to bring you up to speed, last court proceedings, they were doing work without a permit. They tried to convert back of the garage. We don't have access to get in there.
Right.
So, Officer Bowers is gonna speak to that because he
Okay.
actually went in on the initial
Okay,
complaint.
come on up.
Carl
Morning.
Blowers, Daytona Beach Police Department. I've been out to this address numerous times, and so has patrol. The reason I ended up inside the house was people that were sub-renting the back room, which is where,
Subletting, okay.
which is where some of these pictures are from, were complaining that the landlord was going in and out of their apartment and taking things. There was 2 girls living in there with a dog. They were telling me about drug activity, prostitution, and multiple places being rented and that property being used for everything.
Okay, the city has recommended $250 per day against the respondent. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Roby has made a motion to impose a fine of $200, $50 per day against the respondent effective today and continued until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $15,000. And the second was whom?
Ms. Marsh.
Ms. Marsh. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Madam Chair, the amount was how much?
$250 for both. One, okay? Not together, separately. All right, case number 19, CEB 01-24-26, Mr. Gibson. Or
Okay.
somebody.
As it pertains to 845 Hollywood Street, the respondent was first notified on October the 14th, 2023. Since last month, court proceedings, I've had no contact with the property owner and no progress. Staff requests $200 a day to a maximum of $15,000.
Chair will entertain a motion. Any questions from the board?
Is it occupied?
No, ma'am. They live in California.
200 up to what? Is it 15? or
15,000.
50?
Yes, ma'am.
Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order non-compliant. Nope. Chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $200 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $15,000. Such a motion?
So moved.
So moved, Ms. Roby. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number 20, CEB 01-24-08, LaKayla Appling. Go ahead, Mr. Butler.
Yes, ma'am. Let me get some information.
This is at 1241
Yes.
Cadillac Drive.
This case, we're recommending to vacate the findings of noncompliance and recite. The property was quick deeded and sold November the 17th, 2023. Therefore, I have to recite the new owners.
So Ms. Appling does not own that property anymore?
No, ma'am.
So what do we need to do? Dismiss this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to dismiss this case. Is there a motion? Ms. Roby made a motion to dismiss case number, and would you like to amend that to recite new owners?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that would be the discretion of the city.
Oh, okay, all right. To dismiss this case, which is CEB 01-24-08. And who was the second?
Ms. Hunt.
Ms. Himes is the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carried. All right, we still have a quorum. Mr. Harrington is not in chambers right now. He'll be back. Case number 21, CEB 09-23-116. John and Brenda Egner. This is Mr. Garcia. Good morning.
Good morning. Inspector Garcia, credentials on file.
Okay, they were here in October? Is that the last time this was heard, I think?
I believe so.
Okay, well, so they've had time.
Yeah, that,
Okay, go ahead.
the respondent was first notified of the violations on May 12, 2023. I have had contact once from them, but that was the last hearing. That was the last actually contact that I've had. I mostly had contact with the workers. It's not occupied. As for the progress, everything has been completed. The problem is that the permit to complete everything has not been finalized. They did have last inspection was on February 5th, 2024, which failed. So the permit doesn't expire until August 3rd, 2024. So we're asking to amend to the next hearing to allow them to correct whatever issues need to be corrected to get that final passed.
So everything is done except well, I guess everything's not done because it failed its final
Correct,
inspection.
correct.
Do we know why it failed the final inspection?
No, it didn't say when I looked it up, it didn't say why. I was gonna go downstairs and find out after this.
Discussion from the board? I mean, another month? What did we need a permit for?
Well, what they did was, the siding and, the windows.
The peeling paint is
Well,
actually the siding?
Yeah,
Why did they need a permit for that?
well, they didn't paint, they actually put siding on.
Oh, they
They
re-sided?
re-sided some, yeah,
And that needs a permit?
yes. Have to make sure what they covered up wasn't
Right.
rotted and whatnot.
Right. So
The
you're
the
asking,
door is new.
you'd be satisfied with a month, to wait a month?
Yeah, I was hoping that they'd have it this time, but they didn't, so I'm hoping that they do.
Okay.
They're maintaining the grass and,
Okay.
all
go
the
ahead.
outside stuff.
Okay. Any more discussion from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance to allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Himes, is there a second? Second, oh boy, here we go, Ms. Roby, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Getting tongue-tied here. All right, case number 22. CEB 11-23-138 Eclipse Management, Inc. Okay, no, respondent's not here. What can you tell us, Mr. Garcia? I don't have a lot of info on this one.
The respondent was first notified of the violations on May 17, 2023. Since the last hearing, I've had no contact. The property is not occupied and no progress has been made. Staff is recommending a fine of 100 hours a day capped at $15,000.
Anybody living there?
No, it's vacant. I mean, the grass was cut by someone, I don't know who, but it got overgrown again, and then there's a pile of trash there now, and
they're not staying in contact. What is the address? Do we have the address of Eclipse Management? Any discussion from the board while she looks that up? Is that,
Yes.
what is it?
Showing an address in Conyers, Georgia, 589,
Okay,
Seneca Court, Conyers.
Okay.
Southeast.
okay.
And notifications were sent to that address as well.
Okay.
Notification was made at the address.
Yeah, they got address. They got notified where, at the address listed. Okay. No progress, no contact. Vacant. No, I don't think 100 is enough. Anybody want to go? I'd like to suggest 150, and let's get this thing moving here. I mean, it's not the worst place I've ever seen, but it could be fixed relatively easy if they cared, you know? Well, that was a long time ago. Anybody want to make,
I'd go to 200.
okay,
Our lights are running. We're here.
yeah, okay,
It's costing us money just to do this.
all right,
And they don't want to respond. He's not the
Right.
only one, but there's too many of them that don't want to respond. We
Right.
need to get their attention somehow.
okay. All right, Mr. Mahegan has made a motion to impose a fine of $200 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $15K. there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marshall, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Is that okay? All right, let's see, case number 23, 11-23-136, Nelson Cummings. Not here, all right, what can you tell us, Mr. Garcia?
The respondent was first notified of all violations on March 20th, 2023. Since the last hearing, I've had no contact. The property is occupied, and no progress has been made. Staff's recommending $100 a day, kept at $15,000. Right.
We moved to 200. Maybe that'll get somebody's attention, at least to pay attention back to him. 'Cause I'm sure he's driving out there regular to check.
Yeah, I've been out there several times. I spoke to him once before. He keeps giving me these excuses and that he's working on it. He's got a pile in the back. I mean, he's done some, but he has a pile in the back of debris that's just sitting there. He's got some overgrowth around the trees still and all along the fence line.
Yeah, he's had almost a year now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said he was gonna get rid of the tenant, but I don't know if he has or not. There's someone in there.
All right, Mr. Mahegan has made a motion to impose a fine of $200 respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $15,000.
So moved.
That Mr. Mahegan made the motion. Second? Anybody do, Ms. Marsh want to do a second?
Second.
Who did? All right, we have a motion from Mr. Mahegan. Is there for
Second.
a second? All right, second, Ms. Marsh. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Could I ask
ahead.
for, I know it's out of order, but clarification. Several of us have asked on these rentals whether there's a rental license.
Right.
That's not our concern unless it's on here, is that correct? Unless it's listed,
Yeah.
unless
Well,
it's mentioned.
My thing is, I don't understand how they're passing the rental, because they're supposed to be checking every 2 years, correct?
Yeah.
So how are these people going?
I guess that part of the question would be outside really the scope of this proceeding, I would think. I mean, it's information, as your counsel has said, but it's not what it's not their violation that's before you.
Right.
So.
Right.
Does it aid in your decision-making? That's, okay, I guess that's okay, but it's not the information that's before you as it relates to,
Could they,
we did
I
not
mean,
cite.
Should they be looking for a rental license and put that on here if it's not?
Well, that's a staff prerogative. I mean, it's the city.
Yeah.
We do check. We do check if they're, it may be a point where they're in the, in that time span where they have it and they're just not due for it yet.
But a lot of these things can't deteriorate in those 2
Mhm.
years that are going before the inspections. That's my only
Right.
issue.
Understood.
So basically what I said,
they-
if it's not on there, it's not our.
Right. Okay. Okay. But, all right. Case number 24, CEB 11-23-139, Scotto Stanfield. Was here last time.
He was here. He might be
Okay,
outside.
not here now. Okay. All right, Mr. Garcia.
The respondent was first notified of all violations on March 13, 2023, and since the last hearing, I've had no contact from him. The property is occupied, and no progress has been made. I mean, it's overgrown, still the same.
Okay, what's your recommendation?
Staff's recommending of $100 a day, capped at $10,000.
Capped at what?
10,000 because he's residing in the home.
Lives there.
You haven't had any much contact with him?
I haven't had no contact since he was here last. Oh, so there he is.
Oh, there you are. Come on. What are you objecting to?
Well, I spoke to him 10 minutes ago. Sorry, Scott Stansfield here.
Well, let's get back to some order here.
Can I?
State your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Scott Stansfield, 863 Julia Street, Daytona Beach.
Okay.
Can you pull the mic down, sir?
Oh.
Raise your right hand.
How about both? I'm superstitious about this right hand stuff. No voodoo or anything.
Please.
Yes, sir, yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
To the best of my ability, yes.
Okay. Well, Mr. Garcia, what can you tell us?
I can tell you that the property is very overgrown, and the exterior surface of the building is untouched still, as nothing has been done with it.
Objection.
And
You just can't see it.
he hasn't
bloom like a flower.
contacted you since the last meeting?
No, since this morning was the first time when he came in. He said he was here, and that was it.
And I'm going to give you some time to respond, Mr. Stansfield. What have you done to improve this property?
I could tell you a long story, but
No, I don't want to hear a long
Okay,
story.
I have-
asked your question.
I am being victimized. I'm not sure by who or what. I did not have a plan when I bought this property. I had not planned to retire. I had been in a little fender bender, and I thought, I'm going to walk on the beach every morning, get back in the best shape I've ever been. Since then, I've had everything you can name happened to me over the last 10 years, okay?
Over the last how long?
10 years, or since 16 when I bought it. But in the last 15 months, the night before, move out of my last property up north, I'm from a little bit north of Boston, all my valuables and possessions that I had sorted and had ready to move professionally, gone, stolen. I got a call from a local police officer, I believe, about the property and that there were people possibly in the property
Do you
coming and going. Let me, I have 20 more words.
I interrupt you because you're giving me a lot of extraneous information that I didn't ask for at this point. What I'd like
Okay.
you to do,
Yes. With you.
there are two questions now.
Mhm.
Do you live there?
It is my residence, yes. I
Okay,
have
so
been,
do you live there? Yes.
Yes, I-
Okay, thank you. What have you done to improve this property since you were notified a year ago?
I have done some yard work, which I can make very visible to you within a week or two. I'm not going.
I didn't mean to laugh, it's not.
No,
funny.
no
you stated
insult
it,
taken.
kind of funny.
Well, I bought it from the previous owner. The gentleman passed away, Mr. Smith, Joel Smith Plumbing. Beautiful property. There's 50 years of gardening and care hidden underneath some of that growth.
You were notified a year ago. I keep coming back to that, and you're only cited for two things: faded peeling paint on the exterior and overgrown landscape. What have you done with those two things in the last year since you were notified?
I am struggling for survival. I took early social to survive. I am trying to survive. No joke, okay? And as I stated, there is a lot of beautiful wildlife hidden under
Okay.
Mr. Garcia's photo.
Got-
I took beginning intermediate advanced in studio photography in high school. I can snap a couple pictures and show you
No,
a
it's
different
really,
viewpoint
here's
of
how
the
the
property.
process, I want to explain to
No
you.
disrespect, but
Go ahead, finish that sentence and then I'm
But
going to.
I have done some work, a lot of which, you cannot see. Within a week or two, I can tell you, I can shock you with what you will see there. But I am not into your typical mow the lawn and mow it once a week theory, okay? Also, I have a landscaper that has $200 of mine on retainer for whatever work. That pile of brush you see disappeared yesterday. The city took it away. The large pile there, most of that's gone. I had moved it to the front. That's gone. But seriously, it's not just bad luck. I tried to contact authorities. Their response has been,
Why did you need to contact authorities?
I am being attacked. I am being
By whom?
victimized. I don't know.
Well, how are you being victimized?
You will not give me the chance to speak and.
I do, but you go off, I'm sorry, but you go off topic too often for me to allow you to speak. I can't allow you to take up.
Okay. Well, it's a long story. Arrested north
All right,
and south.
actually,
mugged in a
it's,
local
a
bar.
lot of the stuff you're telling us is something that we can't do anything about. We are here because you need to fix clean up the place and to fix the faded and peeling paint on the exterior. Now, I also, Mr. Garcia, want to know, I have written down here that this case was continued for some reason. Why was it continued?
I don't know.
Was it?
No.
Or am I wrong about that?
I don't-
I may be I may have.
Yeah.
Back, way back. I got stuck up north during COVID.
All right.
Interrupt.
What is your recommendation, Mr. Garcia?
The $100 fine with a cap of 10,000.
That'll kill me. I can give you photos on a stick.
This has been a
Prior
year,
to
sir.
March 5th. I'm telling you, I am under attack. I've talked to the.
I'm sorry that you're under attack.
State
There's a
Attorney
police
General.
officer, excuse me, there's a police officer right there. There's nothing we can do about you being under attack. That's not our purview. What we're concerned with is the overgrown landscaping and the peeling paint, and arguing with us and not addressing the issues is not helping your case. So
If you can waive that fine, I can provide you
I'm not
photos
waiving
on a
anything.
stick.
Go
Prior to
ahead.
March 5th,
All
I'll be
right,
at
this,
the
the
next meeting.
your testimony's finished now, as far as I'm
I'm
concerned.
sorry.
I'm not going to allow you to speak
I'm sorry,
anymore.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Himes?
Are you the one
He
attacking?
had until this time to correct it.
Or she is?
He had a month on it. So I recommend the motion, Madam Chair, I recommend the motion of the city. Of Mr. Garcia.
This case is dated from
Are you the one attacking?
November, yeah, I'll get to it. November of '23 was the first time that it came to us, is that right?
No, Mark.
No, that's when he was notified. The case number is CEB 1123-139, so that was the first time he was here, is that correct? Or, no, this is the, well, it's not a new case.
But I had it on 23.
It's what?
November 9th, 2023.
Uh-huh.
That's when he was here last.
That's when he was here last. Was that a new
Yeah.
case then?
That
He was here last month, too.
Yeah,
That's when the case was brought before you as an open case.
Yeah,
That would
he
have
was
been when it
notified
received the
before
CEB
that.
number. So when it was initially filed with the board.
He was here last month.
Okay, but the first time we heard this case was in November, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's
Yes.
correct.
All right, so Ms. Himes has made a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. Is there a second to that? Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. You've been fined, sir.
I'll make it happen.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Free to go. Thank you.
All right, case number 25, and then we're going to take a break. In fact, why don't we take a break right now for 5 minutes? There are not a lot of people here, so it shouldn't be too long. Well, we'll take a break at 11:01. We'll be back by, before. Is everybody here?
Yes.
No, Mr. Jackson's not here.
All right, Garcia.
I've seen some properties on Bevel that should have been years ago.
I don't know whether, can we start without Mr. Jackson?
Ain't gonna get
Huh?
it.
Okay, all right. Meeting's gonna come back to order. Here comes Mr. Jackson. Good. Case number
Fine them.
He told me I could do that. Case number 25, CEB 11-23-151, Shakisha Berry. Anyone here for that case? At 678 Madison.
Is nobody going to be here for
All
that?
right, nobody's here. Go ahead, Mr. Garcia.
The respondent was first notified of all violations on July 20th, 2023. I have had no contact. The property is not occupied, and there is no progress been made. Staff's recommending a fine of $100 a day, capped at $15,000.
So moved.
All right. We have a motion and a second to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of, is this 10?
Yes.
10,000?
No, this is 15.
15,000.
Oh, 15.
Okay.
Oh, it's the rent.
So the motion was Mr. Harrington. Who was the
It's
second?
vacant.
I'll second
It's
it.
fine.
Ms. Himes is the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 26, CEB 01-24-16 at 348 Ellsworth. Alexei Nikandrov. Oh. Good morning. You had to go to work last time, right?
I did,
You weren't
yes.
able to be here. Okay, but you're here today. Okay, good. All right. Ugh. We're gonna, state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Alexei Nikandrov, 348 Ellsworth Street.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. We're gonna hear from Mr. Garcia. Go ahead.
The respondent was first notified of all violations on October 2nd, 2023. I have had contact with the owners. The property is occupied and progress has been made. Staff's recommending a fine, to amend to the next cutoff to allowing him to continue. He has, all the vehicles have been registered and tagged, updated. All the outside storage in the front has been removed. He has he has several concrete blocks on the south side behind the fence that just needs to be taken up, and that's going to take him some time. So, and the amending will allow him to do that.
So there's been progress. What is the issue that, I have in my notes, police were involved in this.
I
Do
don't.
you have any?
No, I don't.
No?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Okay. All right. What would you like to tell us?
I'm
You're
making
making
progress.
progress.
Correct.
Good. We like that. Okay. The chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Mr. Harrington, second, Ms. Marshall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Keep on doing it. That's good. Case 27, CEB 11-23-142, Edward and Dolores Alexander at 925 West Millard. Anybody present?
No.
Go ahead.
No, the respondent was first notified of all violations October 5th, 2023. Since the last hearing, I've had no contact. It's not occupied, and there has been no progress. Staff's recommending a fine of $100 a day, kept at $15,000.
So
Does anyone, Does anyone live there?
No. No, it wasn't fire damage. That was the one across the street.
Okay.
I think the neighbors has been cut the grass, but the grass keeps overgrowing.
The recommendation was, and then we have a motion on the floor from Mr. Harrington to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $15,000. There's second? Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number 28, CEB 01-24-10. Becky Franklin at 319 North Frederick Avenue. Respondent present? No, okay. Go ahead, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, the respondent was first notified of all violations on September 23rd, 2023. Since the last hearing, I have no contact. The property's not occupied, and there has been no progress. Staff's recommending a fine of $100 a day, capped at $15,000.
Anything been done at all?
Somebody cut the grass a little, and I noticed there's a new door put up inside, and it's done without a permit, so that's about it.
Is the RV gone?
There was a vehicle there that was removed. I didn't know if it was an RV or not, but
Oh, it says on here, RV parked on grass. Oh, and there's a black hat. Okay. What's your recommendation?
$100 a day, capped at $15,000.
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor, well, then we'll have to say, to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $15,000. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh. Is there any discussion? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number 29, CEB 01-24-07. Eddie Anderson, Joyce Cooper Anderson.
They were here, but this property is in compliance February 13, 2024.
Okay, good. Like that.
February the 3rd.
13.
I'm sorry, 24.
Wait a minute, what's the date of compliance?
February 13, 2024?
Right.
I thought that's what I said.
You did. Okay. All right. Case number 30. CEB 01-24-22, Charles Slappy. Slappy here? Okay.
This respondent was first notified of all violations on October 20th, 2023. Since the last hearing, I have had no contact. The property is occupied. No progress has been made. Staff's recommending a fine of $100 a day, capped at $10,000.
So does Mr. Slappy live there?
He lives in there.
Okay.
Along with
Are
some,
there people, how about those tents?
I went around the corner, and that's what I found, seen in the back.
Oh, they moved them from the front?
No. This is what I've seen
Okay.
in the back. So there's been people coming and going. So I'm assuming that they're
Okay.
living back there.
And this is a citizen complaint.
Yes.
How much was your recommendation?
$100. But if you want to put 200.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
okay.
And he, I had to post this notice, the one that's there, and he took it in front of me and tore it up.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for $250 a day.
Okay.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion
Vicious.
to impose a fine of $250 per day against the respondent effective today, February 15th, and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $10,000. Second?
I second.
Okay, Ms. Himes seconded it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, case number 31, CEB 01-24-30. Estefania Fernandez? Yes. Okay, good. Come on up. And, Ms. Severett, I know that,
Good morning.
good morning, wait just a second. It says imposed fine. We have not imposed, it means we need to, I think we just need the D taken off this case and then the next three cases. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so, good morning.
Good morning.
State your name and address for the record and be sworn in, please.
Okay, my name is Estefania Fernandes. The address is 1311 Hillcrest Drive, Daytona Beach.
Okay. Are you going to testify, sir?
Well, I'm the son, so
It's my
she
son.
needs some help with transaction,
Translation?
yes.
All right, then you need to be sworn in if you're,
Sure.
okay?
What's your
All
name,
right,
sir?
Go ahead.
Atalo Fernandez.
Can you spell your first name for me?
Yeah, it's Italo, Fernandez with a S.
Will you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Miss.
Can I see the picture more than right there?
All right, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, the respondent was first notified of all violations on May 18, 2023. Since the last hearing, I have had contact with both her and her owner and her daughter. The property is not occupied, and they have, the thing about the progress is they weren't able to do anything until they straightened out the permit issue. This is the one about the survey and all
Right.
that. I got that resolved. I went downstairs in person and I showed them all the photos and explained everything that was going on, and they checked into it, and they cleared it up, and they have now gotten their permit to start on doing the roof. I understand that a roofer was hired and should be starting today.
Yes.
Good. And do they not need a survey then?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so what is your recommendation?
We're amending to the next cutoff to allow them to start the work and
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion from Mr. Harrington to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 3/6 to come into compliance and return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. And the second was Ms. Roby.
Me.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, keep
Thank you.
going, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Okay.
All right, case 32 is in compliance as of 2/12. Case 33, CEB 01-24-02, Margaret Eberwein. No show, okay. What's going on, Mr. Garcia?
Okay, the respondent was first notified of all violations on September 13, 2023. Since the last hearing, I have had contact with the owner. The property is occupied by her, and there has been progress made. We're asking to amend the next cutoff. From what I noticed is during my inspection, re-inspections, seems like some of the stuff went to the back, some was removed. And also, she had someone taking measurements to do a fence, to put a fence around the property. Within doing so, they opened up the gates, and I was able to see all the stuff, excuse me, all the stuff in the back. So we're asking the men to allow her to clean up the back also.
So is she in contact with you regularly?
Oh, yes. She comes to the office and everything.
Oh,
She's 7 o'clock in the morning.
But understands the process and is doing it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until March 6th to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration or fine of up to $1,000 a day.
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay. Case number 34, getting there. CEB 10-23-127.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
this is a case that was never found in noncompliance, and an imposition of fine was imposed for her, but it was never found in noncompliance. It was a
Okay, so we're here to vacate the imposition of a fine and dismiss the case for due process issues and to recite a new owner.
That is correct.
Correct.
Okay, is there a motion to do that?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second. Ms.
Second.
Roby, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. We're on to new cases. Case number 35, CEB 02-24-38, Innovative Factor Corporation.
Do you want to explain the difference in the new cases from the previous, like you usually do?
Yeah, okay. These are all new cases. We are not here to fine you at this particular meeting, new case. We just want to see whether you're in compliance, not in compliance, how much time we're going to give you, but you will not be fined during this period of time. So we'll start with that. My question is, and I don't know, I probably shouldn't even bring this up, but I want us to be aware that this is the hearing date is February 15th. The next meeting is, well, I guess that gives them a month then, doesn't it? Okay, never mind, I'm wrong. Good, okay. Anyway, is anyone here for case 35, CB 022438 at 615 North Street? Okay.
I don't think we have the owners, but we have the adjacent, we have the reporting parties, the adjacent neighbors that like to speak.
Okay, you can come on up. Just state your name and address for the record, and we'll listen to whatever you have to say
So in this case,
as a witness.
so
So it's okay to have a witness without a respondent? Yeah, so, okay, that's good. Okay, that's fine.
in this particular case, we would be concerned with no rental license because it's on here.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
State your name, sir.
Joseph Lanier, 621 North Street.
Joseph Lanier.
Lanier,
Oh, Lanier. Is that L-A-N-E-R?
L-A-N-I-E-R.
Okay. Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to let Mr. Garcia start, and then I'm going to give you time to tell us what you'd like to tell us.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, this generated of a citizen complaint for no rental license, damaged fence, mold, dirt, grime on the fence and the exterior surfaces. The certified receipt was signed on November 27, 2023. The compliance due date was December 8th, 2023, and the last reinspection was on February 2nd, 2023. I have had no contact from the owner, and staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance compliance. The neighbor, which is the reporting party, would like to speak on the issues that, why they complained. And
Okay, go right ahead.
Yes, ma'am. The reason I made the complaint was my neighbors, they haven't fixed their fence from the hurricane. and I've been trying to get in touch with their landlord, which they was not trying to help me do. I was fixing my mom's screen porch, and their dog came from underneath the fence and tried to attack me, which I have on video on my tablet, which Mr. Garcia saw for himself.
Okay.
And since then, it's been me and the neighbors not been so nice to each other. And basically, I need the fence fixed because my mom, 87 years old, and I'm trying to preserve the rest of the life she has. And she can't go in her backyard because she's paranoid about the dog. And the dog, I've been telling them about their dog for the past 3 years. Now, I know that's a animal control situation,
Correct.
but if they fix their fence, as you can see,
Right.
then I wouldn't be here right now today.
But isn't that a police department?
No, it's animal control, for one thing, but the fence needs
Yeah.
to be fixed is our deal.
But
And that's what I'm here about.
Yes,
fence.
yes, well, I get it. Okay, can you give me the address of the owners, of the person, the respondent, please, the Innovative Factor Corp.?
The address is P.O. Box 987, Apopka, Florida.
Apopka, okay? Well, I'm gonna ask you, does the landlord have you ever seen the landlord?
I seen a landlord maybe like 3-4 years ago when they was renting to someone else, and they was in violation then, and they had a stop work order.
Okay,
So, but I don't know who the landlord is. I heard
Yeah,
he
yeah.
live in Palm Coast,
okay.
and the neighbor's not helpful at all.
That would be the tenant.
The tenants, I mean,
Yeah.
say yes.
Okay. Well, we're here just for compliance or non-compliance. We can't find anybody today or do anything other than find them in non-compliance and set next month. Give them 30 days to come into compliance. If they don't, then they'll come back. You can come back as well if you want to. You don't have to because we have your testimony. But if you have something new to add, you're welcome to come back,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? But we can't do anything more today than give them 30 days to, although I'm wondering if the dog is,
he is.
I know it's not
danger.
our issue, but is that a life safety issue?
Yes, if he's 87 years old.
Is that,
I wouldn't do it to her. See,
what?
leave it alone.
Leave it alone for right now?
I don't think
Okay.
that dog, you know.
I just asked if it was a life safety issue, and it
It is
could,
for his mom.
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
well, that's,
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. It's really your, I mean, you're hearing about.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's your choice in terms of the amount of time. We're asking to go till the next cutoff, but if you believe that you need to accelerate that time, then that's just, your choice.
has animal control been notified?
I notified them, but I haven't got no response yet. And it's been like, I don't know, I think maybe 6 months ago. And I have the police report, and I had the video on my tablet.
What?
I'm more concerned that he's not here.
Who? The
Responding.
respondent, okay. Okay, but I'm concerned with the safety of his mother as
Yeah.
well. So it's our discretion if we want to make this, of course, we won't hear it again till the next month anyway, right? Is that right, or what would happen? Well, the city could go in and fix
It's
the
a regular
fence.
procedure. Non-compliance today.
Right.
Hearing in the next meeting.
Yeah, I see that's what, I understand, but we could authorize the city to secure the property, secure his property, secure their property. Their property is not secure. The dog can get under the fence and in the yard.
It's occupied, I'm sorry, if I may.
Go ahead.
It's occupied property, when you authorize securing, that's us being able to exercise an emergency activity, because property that's generally not
Right.
occupied. So this is property where owner has responsibility. There are remedies, and he's seeking those as far as how to
Right.
deal with the dog issue. But as to the code issue itself, it's a fence repair,
Right.
which would be different than the concern. Not that the concern is invalid, it has a lot of validity.
Right.
And there's a avenue for addressing those. And I think he's making the best effort he can to get that,
Right, I
address
think so
those
too.
concerns.
I'd call, well. The other thing is, all right, so I guess we're not gonna do that, but does the tenant owns the dog, is that correct?
Yes,
That's why you're not getting cooperation there.
correct.
Okay. All right. Any discussion from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is 3/6/2024, be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, second. Was that Ms. Himes?
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
All right, thank you.
That's all we can really do right now. You can maybe pursue some things on your own.
Correct, but if the
Okay.
fence get repaired, then
Okay.
that'll
Thank you for
resolve a lot of
coming.
the situation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, the notification is going to go to Innovative Factor? Is that a
Yeah.
management company? Or is that the owner?
That's the recorded the owner of record. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, that is the owner of record. That's,
Copy the tenant, do you have a tenant's address?
$1,000 a day up to 15,000.
they've got
do
the
not have-
Apopka address for
I have-
that, right?
The mail was sent to the Apopka address
Yeah.
to the owners, and it was signed.
So it's up to 15,000.
I just want to make sure it goes to the owner, so we don't come back next time and say it didn't go to the owner, it went to North Street.
It's going to the owner,
It's going to the home.
to the owner in Apopka.
But it's also going to the PO box.
Okay.
Okay, that's
It'll
correct,
go
right?
to, if I
Yeah.
may, it'll go to the registered agent
Right,
as well, and the registered agent shows an Apopka address as well, 447 Orange Drive. So an actual physical address is indicated for the registered agent, at least on the Division Corporation's document that I have in file.
okay.
And as well, it'll go to the corporate address as well for Innovative Factor Corporation, which I presume will be the PO box.
The registered agent of that lives in Apopka, does he live, the witness indicated that he thought the
Yeah, I
landlord.
heard that, but as far as
We
what we
don't
have
know.
on,
Okay,
of
that's right.
knowledge is what's
Okay.
in the corporate,
Okay,
identified in the Division of Corporation.
all right. Case number, we'll move on. Case number 30, Mr. Sensen. Case number 36, CEB 0224-37, Janine Hadley. Unmaintained pool at 2931 North Peninsula. What can you tell us? Nobody's here for that case, okay?
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector, qualifications on file. This is a complaint-driven case about an unmaintained pool. Property owner received a certified notice on 13 November 23. Compliance was due by 7 December of 23 with multiple re-inspections of the property. A scheduled inspection for the 20th, which was on the Saturday, that was predetermined, and property owners did not respond when the inspector came to do the re-inspection. These photographs are from the 19th, the day before. There has been no change in status. We asked for an order of non-compliance, and actually I'd like compliance within 10 days, because this is a life safety issue.
Tell me something. What's the problem with the pool? You know, it's hard for me to see whether it's chlorinated, over-chlorinated, not chlorinated. Are there other issues?
I couldn't tell you about the amount of chlorine in there, but I can tell you that the pool should not look green, cloudy, with all that debris down on the bottom.
Okay.
I see all that debris over there. Okay. Where the stairs are, or whatever that, the railings are.
And what is the city recommendation?
I would like compliance within 10 days.
Is it fenced in?
It's fenced in on 3 out of the 4 sides. Most of the time the fence is closed, but the fence is open on occasion. But yes, it is fenced in.
This house is occupied?
House is occupied.
It looks as if that fence is leaning.
It's one of those box privacy fences. It's
Well, that's not even
Sufficient.
on there. The fencing isn't even on there, it just says unmaintained pool.
Mhm.
That's why,
He ain't gonna clean it up.
and this was a citizen complaint.
yes, from the neighbor.
How did the neighbors say, well, never mind. All right,
Madam Chair, I recommend $250 per day.
nope, we're just doing
Oh, no, this is
compliance.
new.
Right,
Excuse me.
compliance or non-compliance.
Yeah.
And the city has asked for 10 days to get it
Okay,
corrected.
that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
10 days.
But it won't come back to us for 30.
Is that,
That's true, but,
Let's come back to us.
Madam Chair, I recommend the city's proposal.
all right. The chair, okay, so we have a motion to find respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance in 10 days, which, what date would that be? February 24th? No, is that right?
25th.
25th. Come into compliance by February 25th. Or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second, Ms. Roby, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Now, realizing that the 25th is a Sunday, that's okay. I mean, we can
26th, no.
All right, so we'll say, we'll amend to the 26th, is that okay with Ms. Roby and Ms. Himes?
Yes.
Okay, they will amend to the 26th. Okay. All right, case number 37, CEB 02-24-33, John and Brenda Egner at 645 Cherry Street. Ms. Kirk,
Hello.
good morning again.
Morning. Okay, this is a complaint-generated case that was opened on December 15th of 2022 for no permit for renovations. First notification was March 7th of 2023, posted the property. I did a site visit on February 6th of 2024. It's in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
Did you have any contact?
No, I haven't had any contact other than an email from a buyer, a real estate agent with. a
Does anyone
buyer
live
of the
there?
Property. I don't believe so. I believe it's vacant. It failed a final inspection on before work was done outside the scope of the permit, like windows, HVAC, siding.
Okay. Any questions from the board? The chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, March 6, 2024, be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Roby, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh, all in favor say aye. Like sign opposed, motion carries. Yeah, we're on our last page. 3 more cases, and they're all Ms. Kirk's. Okay, case number 38, CEB 02-24-34, Ivan Thakurden. Okay,
This is a complaint-generated case I received on March 22nd of '23. For an unsecured vacant structure, crumbling exterior, trash debris, broken windows, address number is not visible from the street. First notice was April 21st of 2023. I conducted a site visit on February 14th of '24. It's still in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
questions from the board? Have you had contact?
No.
Do people live there, did we say?
There were people living there, but I believe it's now vacant. The owner is in Canada.
Great. All right, Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance, or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, March 6, 2024, will be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So move.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 39, CEB 02-24-35, Kelvin Lee and Anthony DeWilliams at 524 South Landville. Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record and be sworn in.
Kelvin Lee, 524 South Landville.
Okay.
Anthony D. Williams, 2727 North Atlantic Avenue.
Will you-
Daytona Beach.
Will you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So you both own this property together?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll hear from Ms. Kirk, and then if you need to speak, we'll hear from you too. Go ahead, Ms. Kirk.
Okay. This is a complaint-generated case I received on April 1st of 2022 for unpermitted renovations, exposed surfaces, missing garage door, and missing trim. First notification was a posting on July 19th of 2022. I visited the property on February 14th of 2024. It's still in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
What's not in, has anything been done?
Yes.
Wait a minute, let me ask Ms. Kirk, has anything been done?
Yep, there's been quite a few things done. It was just recently painted, so that's one thing. The stucco on the outside. They're waiting on a garage door. However, the permit is still, it's administratively closed.
What,
as
because it was, in effect, they had a permit and it went longer than 6 months?
Right, well, I'm not sure the reason, but they did have a permit, they were working on it, and then it's been closed since 7/6 of '23. So we've been waiting for it to, paperwork to be turned in or whatever the reason is.
Okay, so we're only here today to to decide whether you're in compliance, and if you have no permit, or it's not in effect, you need to go downstairs, talk to Ms. Kirk, and she'll tell you exactly what you need to do to get that back.
Yes, ma'am.
You get your
We did that yesterday with Miss, we spoke with Miss Amy Fluker yesterday.
Okay.
She already has the email, so all she has to do is reinstate it and talk to her yesterday. Already got it taken care of.
Okay.
And she said she was
So
related to her.
it's still not taken care of, and you realize once those.
Yes.
Okay.
We understand.
So, and you need to get, then once you get your permit and the work is done, then you need to have it finalized.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, good. That's good. Do you want to say anything?
Well, he had to take over for me because last year I got sick from a cortisone shot and I couldn't walk for 15 weeks, and I couldn't help him at all. And it's it's almost a year now. I was in the hospital 23 days, all from a cortisone shot in my foot.
Okay.
So he had to take over.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, everything's moving along here, so it's okay. It's just not in compliance yet, and that's the only reason we're here today, is determine
And everything
compliance.
we're doing is done to code, and we already
Okay,
have a
good.
permit for everything
Okay,
that we're doing.
okay.
So,
Cheryl,
do you think you'll have it completed by the next 30 days?
I doubt it. I mean, there's a lot of work still to be done. We're waiting for our plumbing, final and our electrical final now, so we're waiting for the permit now. Not the permit to come back, so we can call for inspections. There's sheet rock, painting, flooring, fixtures, plumbing.
but you're making progress,
Oh, definitely.
and you've got your permit.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Do you-
All we're doing is reinstating this. Yes, we have everything
Okay,
right here.
okay.
And it's already in with Ms. Fluger. She already got the email yesterday from my contract. I'm a contractor myself, but my GC, they talked yesterday, all of us on three-way, and it's already taken care of, so all they have to do is just reinstate it.
Okay.
We got it taken care of yesterday.
Any comments from the
I was
board?
gonna say, do you wanna go with 2 months for the,
I'm fine with April cutoff.
Okay.
Okay.
So the new permit's only gonna be for 2 months?
no?
No,
Okay,
that's.
you don't have to show up
You
here
don't
if
have to
you
come
don't
back
get it-
here
if
for
you
2,
don't get
we're
it
giving
done.
you 2 months to get the work done before we consider
Okay, I got you.
anything
Stay
else.
in touch with Ms. Kirk.
All right, the chair will
Scared me.
entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance in order to the respondent to come into compliance by April 3rd, 2024, be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Roby, second. Second, Ms. Himes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed. Motion carries. So,
Stay
but it doesn't mean when you come back here, if you've made tons of progress and everything's on and you just need to do one more thing or something that,
Okay.
we have the discretion to fine you, but it doesn't mean it won't be anything that's automatic if that work, if you are honestly intending to do that work and have done that work, okay?
Okay.
What was your question you
No,
had?
that was the question I asked her.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're presently working out to make sure we're gonna get fined and we're.
Right, no,
we
no,
got
no,
this
no,
in
you
already.
don't get fined automatically. You get a chance to testify, and Ms. Kirk will testify, and if it's been finalized and she says everything's fine, but stay in touch with
Oh, we
Ms.
do.
Kirk.
I talked to her. I-
Okay,
yeah,
because
very
she,
well. Yes, ma'am.
she's the one that will put you into compliance, not us,
Okay.
okay? All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, case number 40, CEB 02-24-36, Carrie Morgan. What? It's a couple of. Are you waiting for something, 2 people in the back?
They're with me.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, okay.
That explains.
I thought we've run out of cases, so I.
With her.
Let's find one.
Yeah. All right, good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody?
No, we're okay.
Good.
We're getting better by the minute.
Good. It's almost
So state
over.
your name and address for the record and be sworn
Uh,
in.
My name is Henrietta Hudson. I'm Carrie Morgan's sister. She has anxiety, so I'm the one to talk. And
Your name's
this is
Henrietta what?
Hudson.
Hudson, and you're the sister
I'm the sister
of Carrie.
Morgan.
Okay,
Right.
all right, and you're gonna be the one testifying?
Yes, with my person here.
Okay, what is your name, sir? You state your name and
My name
address
is
for the
Ronald
record, too.
Smith, and I'm here in the behalf of Carrie Morgan and B&B Construction.
Okay, all right. Be sworn in, Ms. Severate will.
Okay. You have your right hand raised. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, is this Carrie, is this Ms. Morgan? Okay,
Okay.
did you state your name and address for the record?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, all right, good. We're all set. We're gonna hear from Ms.
What's
Kirk,
the name?
and then we'll let you talk, okay?
Carrie Morgan, 1149 Madison Avenue, Daytona Beach.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is a complaint-generated case that I received on April 25th of 2023 for a damaged roof and blighted vacant structure. First notification was May 3rd of 2023. I visited the site on February 14th of 24, and it's still in non-compliance. However, there is a roof permit that is under review. So with that being said, staff would like to ask for a finding of non-compliance with compliance by the April cutoff.
So a permit has been applied for.
Right, it's under review, yes.
Yeah, since 2022. And what happened is Missy said, if we're gonna do the rest of the work on the house, we need to go and get the stuff we're gonna do on the inside. So we're waiting on the engineer to finish that, so we can finish everything, one permit to do everything instead of going back doing an amendment.
Okay, the only thing that we're concerned with here is the roof. This is why you're here, not the inside. That's not up, that's not on. It doesn't say, although it does say blighted vacant structure. Do we need to have a little clarification on that?
Well, it's just an eyesore, you know, it doesn't look good. It's boarded up, it was condemned at one point.
So
It's-
those are the things you have to work on right away to get rid of this case, okay? And you say you have a permit, or you've applied for a permit for the roof. Well, stay in touch with Ms. Kirk.
Yeah, I got.
So
I got
she can tell, she'll be the one to put you in compliance.
Yeah.
And she can explain if you need any other permits to do work, but the two things we are concerned about in this case, we're not going beyond this case, just this case. Damaged roof and blighted vacant structure, okay?
And she can explain to you what the blighted means.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the construction for 25 years, so
Okay.
I'm aware of it.
All right,
Yeah.
so,
Thank you.
any other comments from the board? The chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance in order the respondent to come into compliance by April 3rd, 2024, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Marsh, all in favor say aye. Like sign opposed. Okay, thank you
All
for
right,
coming.
you have a
Sorry
great-
you had to wait so long.
Ms. Marsh.
Okay, that's gonna do it.
Well, I got a question.
Go ahead.
What was the deal with the one that was hidden, or what?
Yeah, wanted to speak to that briefly, and it's
What?
not the case itself, but just in general. There are certain circumstances where individuals are,
Wait a minute.
information is undisclosed, and this can be for many reasons. There's certain things that are exempt by law, certain things that are confidential, and
For instance.
we don't define confidential exactly the same way as the tax assessors do, but we look at their record to determine addresses and so forth pursuant to the statute. Well, in their record, they indicate sometimes just confidential information, and they won't even provide it to us, but they'll just take action and make the notifications and then confirm the notifications to us.
So they're the ones that actually deliver whatever they need to that person?
Yes.
Like a witness protection guy or something like that?
Right, whatever they may be.
Well, it
And-
could
and
be.
for-
I mean, there are a lot of reasons. It could be a police officer's house. It could be, you know.
Yeah, it could be a
attorney's
county judge, who
house.
knows?
Yeah.
And we don't really like to bring it up in a open setting because then we got to discuss it more than we probably need to or ought to.
Okay.
For the most part, like if it was a law enforcement officer, if we don't say that we're talking about a law enforcement officer or mention that he has
Right.
confidential information,
That's
then it
all you
doesn't
need
become
to
relevant.
say. Right.
You know, so we try to
That's all-
pull
okay.
back. I probably tried to pull back a little bit too
Right.
far and left everyone wanting more information.
Right.
Gets even more confusing. I
Right.
don't know if Charlie have any more
Yeah,
to offer on
that
that?
makes a lot of sense to me. Okay.
Move to adjourn.
The only,
We have a move to adjourn. Is there a second?
no, the only, before we
Oh, not yet.
adjourn,
What?
I was trying to get us to say hello to Miss Marsh, mother, and I guess father, but they got out
Oh,
real.
okay.
They left like.
All right.
What
So
they
we have a Sal, I'll second it. All right. Meeting adjourned.
Okay, well, Marsh, tell her, is it?